This is Jay Teaches Reading for All, lesson 99, and we have some more A's that make the aw sound in these words. We're going to have words QUA and SQUA. So here we've got quad and squad, qualify, quantity, quash, squat, squatter, squash, squander, qualm, squall. And I'll go over the meanings of some of these. Quad is a four-sided structure. It's short for quadrangle. And I lived in a quad when I went to college. It was a four-sided building. Squad is a small group of soldiers or a small group of people who work together to achieve a certain goal. The squad of 5 soldiers were going to sneak in behind enemy lines. Qualify means to meet the requirements. He was in good health and had graduated from high school, and he knew he would qualify for the army. Quantity means an amount of something. She bought a large quantity of rice at the store. Quash means to stop or put an end to, suppress. Let's quash that bad idea about paying higher taxes. Squat means to lower oneself by bending the knees. He had to squat down to get the kitten out from under the desk. Squatter is one who squats, or one who just takes over an empty property and takes up residence. After the family left for a 2-month vacation, a squatter moved into their home and started living there. Squash. This means to press or squeeze something down into a flat, mushy mass. That big man is going to plop down on the watermelon and squash it. Squander means to waste. That foolish man will squander all his lottery money and have nothing to show for it. Qualm means a feeling of uneasiness or doubt. I have no qualm about telling the board member exactly what I think he was doing wrong. So no doubt about it. No qualm about it. Squall is a brief, violent storm, or it might be a loud, shrill cry like a baby will squall until he gets his bottle. You might be out on a lake. It would be a fairly big lake, and there would be a short, very violent storm, and that would be called a squall. It wouldn't be like all over the lake. Hopefully it wouldn't be in your area either. Now, teachers, I want you to have the students read these words to you and also pick out a couple of these words for spelling. And the way I'd handle the spelling is have the student look at the word, print it while looking at it, and then cover that up and see if they can print it on their own without looking. I have not mentioned spelling lately, and that's because we've had a couple long lessons, but I am going back to lessons 96, 97, and 98 to review those words, and you can, at that time, if you so choose, give them a word or two spelling on those. And I'd suggest the same strategy. Have them write it once looking, and then cover it up and see if they can write it again from memory. Okay, press pause and do that. Now, a review. Students, say these words before I do. Work. Did you remember that these words have OR that sound like ER? Or work. Word. Worm. Worth. Worthy. worry, world, worst. Teachers have students read those to you and pick a couple for spelling if you so choose. Press pause. All right, students, I'd like you to say these words before I do. We've got A's that sound like aw, at least that's the way I would say it. You may say it a little differently. Say it like your teacher says it. First word, water, wasp, watch, wash, wad, walk, walt, wall, waddle. Again, teachers have students read these to you and pick out one or two for spelling if you so choose. Press pause. Now, students, some more words with A sounding like aw. Say these before I do. Swan, swamp, swat, swallow, swab, oops, swaddling. And so this will be the last review that we're going to do. And teachers have students read these to you and pick one or two for spelling. Again, if you so choose. Press pause. All right, something else I have not been doing is reminding you to do the reading with the students, have them to do independent reading, but I think you're in the habit of that anyway. I hope that you've got the students writing in their notebook or whatever you've got for them to keep track of their reading. Just kind of a reading log, really, where they write down the title, the time, the date, the time that they spent on it, and 3 things that they learned or 3 things contained in the article or whatever they happen to read. Now, at some point, they might want to read a book, and they can get books fairly inexpensively, sometimes for free, online by downloading a Kindle copy, and you can download that, of course, to your computer. So they'll have that available to read if they would like to read a novel. Naturally, Mr. J is going to promote nonfiction. So I would promote reading about famous events in history or famous people. The next best thing would be a fictional story about a real thing that happened in history. In other words, the author is using fictional characters but putting them into a situation that actually happened to real people, although the characters are not the actual characters that history tells us about. So anyway, that is a possibility for you. And the next lesson is going to be 100, and we'll be learning how to use the dictionary, which is very important and very interesting, and it's not as hard as some of you students might think. So hopefully we'll have a good time wrapping things up in lesson 100. See you there.